Hi, I'm Star O'Hara. This is Dispatches from Dystopia, and I'm here with my friends Harry and Donna, down in the sunny state of Florida, which has totally screwed them. And we're going to talk about why today. So I understand, Donna, you have a lifelong health condition,
Yeah,
and can you explain what that is?
I've had infractory light sensitive induced epilepsy, grand mal seizures, or what is now known as clonic tonic seizures. And, they're the kind that, I'll drop and lose all consciousness and just, go into full body spasms and seizures. And sometimes I hurt myself, which has caused other issues like traumatic brain injuries and skull fractures and concussions and so
And
on
have
and
you
so
had
forth.
this condition since you were a kid, or when did it start?
Since childhood, since about 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
So the first
And
time, was
how were you treating that? Or like when you were a kid, how did your doctors treat it?
uh, they tried to put me on all kinds of medication, which never worked, and I ended up missing a lot of school because, like I said, they're light induced, and the fluorescent lighting in the school, it just kept me seizure prone all the time. So. Uh,
Yeah.
no matter what medication they threw at it, it just didn't work. It made me worse. Usually made other issues occur, like Stephen Johnson syndrome, which is pretty much like, you know, fry your skin off of your body, where it blisters you. It's horrible. But yeah, they try to treat it with medications unsuccessfully. So
How often would you be having seizures
I would have daily.
daily
I would have hundreds daily
with the medications?
with the medications. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Um, yeah, and I know not that this has anything to do with your condition, but I think we can all relate to the fluorescent lights in school rooms not being good for us.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you work or go to school in a place that uses fluorescent lights, even, if you don't have a seizure disorder, please talk to somebody about getting that changed because it's just not good for our bodies or our mental focus.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Harry, when did you meet Donna?
Well, the first time, Donna and I have known each other for it's definitely been over a decade. We met online. We travel in similar circles online, uh, uh, extremist circles, I guess. And she had come down here for a vacation with her sister, and at the time, I was working for the happiest place on earth, and she needed tickets. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then we met, and it was only like 5, 10 minutes. But then the first time, because I got them in the parks, and then I left because I don't like being around people. but but then they had come down again in 2014, and I spent a lot more time with Donna in that time, and then they left again, and then in 2019 she came down here on a quasi permanent basis. She was not sure what was going on, so I was like, "Well, you can stay here for as long as you need to, get your shit together, and then tell me what you want to do," and that's history at this point. It's been 4 and 3/4 years now at this point.
So at some point, was this before or after you moved to Florida where you found something that works for your seizure disorder?
Well, in the past, I used to run a radio network, and we discussed the case of Rick Simpson. And so I kind of like did likewise, like Rick Simpson, and ran for greener pastures to Oregon from my home state, which has zero medical cannabis programs. And in Oregon, I had the fortunate or the fortune to meet a couple of medicine people in circles, and it wasn't until I got here that we found something that worked in tangent with my diet, and Harry helped a lot with that. And it's been about 4 years since I've really had any issues with seizures or anything like that. Even through COVID, I muscled it out.
So after you moved, it's been since you moved to Florida that you found a protocol using medical cannabis and dietary changes or dietary rules to.
I have celiacs on top of all the other issues, and so I had to I had to exercise some discipline and cut out any kind of, pastas and breads, the things that I know I shouldn't, but I get cross-contaminated when I'm out in the wild.
Mm-hmm.
And so, is the best way to put it. But my medicine people, my team, has also worked with me as far as like my medicine woman. And I found success in these last 4 years, having a environment where we can figure that out. So
you haven't had a seizure in 4 years, is that right?
She's had a grand total of three in the last 4 3/4 years.
So going from hundreds per day to 3 over the course of 4 3/4 years.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So
it's a miracle.
It is miraculous.
I don't mean to underplay it by any means, because I owe so much to Harry and my medicine person, and it's something that I really don't want to go back into, having those, seizures and the endless cycles of seizures and everything else that accompanies that, like the post-ectal phase or psychosis from, staying seizure prone all the time. There's so many aspects that come into play when you're staying in that state of seizure, like constant seizuring. And so, I had the opportunity to get that all figured out, and it requires absolutely zero pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, so what's the problem now?
Well, it's first and foremost the tenuous legality of the medicine that she uses here in Florida. Sure, Florida has a medical program, but that doesn't extend to oils as much as it would, like, really, buddy? Like, it doesn't extend to oils like it does to flour and stuff like that. And that is a problem. And what we have been doing, and this is potentially incriminating, so I don't know how I'm going to put this, but the way we've been getting her medicine, if it gets lost that way, it can result in a issue,
situation,
that we don't really like, which was what was really prompting us to do the whole move thing,
for logistics,
for logistics purposes,
and calming of anxiety.
Right.
Okay, so back up. So you, because of some legal issues that makes it highly dangerous for you to access this life-saving, maybe not life-saving, but life
No, no, it's
transforming.
It's life saving.
It's absolutely life-saving, yes.
Because you could, let's go into that. So it's life-saving. Why? Because for one thing, you could, having all these seizures every day, hit your head and die.
Well, it's
But also, is it true that like successive daily seizures erode your health in general?
yes, and it also erodes your psychological health too.
And that's
And
not
that's-
even taken in consideration multiple concussions and skull fractures and brain traumas have been known to lead to a condition called CTE, which, the football player Aaron Hernandez from the Boston or from the New England Patriots, he went undiagnosed, and that could be, very potentially dangerous. So
Yeah.
there's all these other factors, and like in total, like in combination, this is saving my life because the dangers of falling, seizure epileptus, which is like the state of going into hours long seizures without like break or anything like that, and sudden death. Or unexpected sudden death, which is how a number of epileptics die.
Okay, so it is life-saving.
Yeah.
So the state where you live has, because of its dubious legalities surrounding medical cannabis, makes it a danger to you to get the type of medicine that is saving your life and transforming your life by improving your psychological health and just relieving you of all the stress of having to deal with this condition on a moment to moment basis.
right.
And so you want to move to another state that doesn't have this dubious legality surrounding your.
Well, the problem is we want to move to a state where we don't have to use the method of transportation to get it here, because it's not only the state's dubious legality in medical marijuana, it's the federal government's absolute prohibition on marijuana products whatsoever that make it also a problem, because her medicine people are in Oregon.
So you're working with an interstate commerce, FDA/DEA issue.
Yeah, that too.
Well, and not only that, but say if I had wandered outside and had a seizure, besides the medicine, issue, if I, as a single person, without, a spouse or next of kin in the state of Florida, I'm kind of, screwed, if I don't have my whereabouts or all my bearings, they can seek guardianship or whatever it is that they've been doing to people here recently. So there's that to take in consideration. I like having my autonomy because I'm an anarchist, so I don't care for having to look over my shoulder if I'm having an emergency or medical emergency, if I'm going to first of all be assaulted because people don't always understand, hey, I'm having a seizure.
Right.
And then there's all the other aspects of that, being found and being robbed, or just being vulnerable because you're not capable of defending yourself. So there's all those anxieties as well.
So you're wanting to move closer to the source or to the state where the source of your medicine, where your medicine is being made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important because the people that you're hooked up with there make it according to the protocol that works really well for you.
Right.
And you're going to be living in a place where the legality isn't
An issue at all.
an issue at all. Okay. And so, so your plan is to move when?
Well, that's the other part of the reason why we're leaving. The other problem is that I live paycheck to paycheck. Like I'm a professional cook, and just in case anybody is wondering, they don't pay us very well. Nobody pays us very well, and my rent since COVID has gone up twice to 4 times as much each lease renewal. And this one, it's going up by a 25% markup. So I don't make enough money to pay my rent, pay my bills, and eat.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, I have to leave here. Which means Donna obviously is leaving the apartment as well. And it just makes sense that, I've been with Donna for the last 4 3/4 years, like in our physical presence. It just makes sense to go with her up to Oregon instead
Well, plus Donna you guys have a good relationship where if something does happen, like if Donna has a seizure and you're around, right?
Well, yeah, I know how to take care of that.
Yeah.
You know how to take care of that. Okay, so we have a couple of people that are trying to get to Oregon for mostly life and death reasons, right?
Right.
And you guys put up a GoFundMe. You guys started a GoFundMe to help you with this relocation.
Right.
How's that going?
Slow. Well, the one thing is I understand how annoying it is seeing posts from people. That's why when I do share it, I try to make it as different as possible when I'm sharing the exact same link every time. But it's a matter of I don't have, friends with lots of money, and Donna doesn't have friends with lots of money. It's not like the people we're in direct contact with have as much disposable income as we're going to need to get this relocation to happen. And the GoFundMe itself, I put a cap at 10,000, but that's actually considering the money that we're saving up as well. We're probably going to come up with like $4,000 to $5,000 ourselves by the time we have to leave at the end of January. It's the other $4,000 to $5,000 that's going to be a problem. If we get the cap on the GoFundMe, that just makes getting there and settling there easier for me to bridge my unemployment between the move and settling in.
Yeah.
But
well, we all know moving is expensive. Moving across the country is especially expensive. And I think that, you guys have not just like, this isn't just a whim. You just kind of want to go across the country. It's obviously, it's a necessary life and death thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let everybody, all my subscribers and YouTube audience know that this is happening. A lot of times when the state makes legislation, it's like, we have good intentions. We're gonna, for instance, bring medical cannabis to the people who need it. But then they make these ridiculous rules, these ridiculous cumbersome rules to where people always fall through the cracks. So the people who need it for, this unapproved condition can't get it, or the people that need this particular type can't get it. And so laws and regulations are not made for people, right? We know that. They're not made to help people. Somebody has a good idea that's like, let's help people, and then they just completely bungle it by passing it through a bunch of regulations. So this is, you guys are victims of that, which happens all the time in all kinds of areas in life when you're interacting with the state. And I know everybody, everybody out there is where it's hard times. I get it. But we would like to encourage, if you have a little bit of extra Christmas money this year, try to think about maybe sending some on to Donna and Harry, and we will put the link in the description. They're trying to raise another like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah, that
would
would be like the minimum. Yeah.
the minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, that would make it possible.
Yeah,
So
that would make it possible.
if we can do better, that would be great. But $4,000 or $5,000 more would make this move possible and contribute to keeping Donna healthy and keeping both of y'all sane, right?
I think the ship has sailed on the sanity part.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for joining me, Harry and Donna. And I wish you the best of luck in your move.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Star. I greatly appreciate it.